Okay, good morning students. In previous class in nuclear physics we completed that is half-life period, average life period, again those relation and the curves and graphs, and also activity units of activity. Today, energy, nuclear energies. The last concept of nuclear physics is nuclear energy. How nuclear energy produced? In which mode? In which application? In which principle? So, in which concept the nuclear energy is produced? See, first one in nuclear energy. First one, nuclear fission. Fusion. The nuclear energy are two types. Nuclear energy is produced due to fission, splitting. Nuclear energy is produced due to fusion. And these two concepts are remaining in the chapter. Now we go for nuclear fission. First one. Nuclear energy. First one, nuclear fission. When a heavy nucleus split into two or more lighter nucleus. So, and also some amount of energy is also released parallel to the lighter nucleus. Is called, the phenomenon is called nuclear fission. The process of splitting of heavy nucleus into lighter, into two or more lighter nucleus, and amount of energy released is called nuclear fission. So, when a heavy nucleus split into two or more lighter nuclei parallel to some amount of energy also is, this energy is called nuclear energy. Nuclear reaction energy. In this one, nuclear fission, nuclear nucleus are reacted. Then the energy released in the nuclear reaction is called nuclear energy. Example, see. uranium-235 plus 1 neutron is participate in the reaction. Heavy nucleus, uranium, mass 235, is bombarded, is collided, so is react with neutron, one single neutron. Then 56 barium 141 plus 36 krypton 92, again 3 more neutrons plus some amount of energy. 56 barium 141, 36 krypton 92 is again 3 more neutrons and some amount of energy. Yes. Next, here, what is the amount of energy released? We know that the mass defect, change in mass, is converted into energy. We know that. We know that is very well about that mass defect. So mass defect is converted into energy. See. So that is Q is equal to delta M into C square joule. Q is equal to delta M into 931.5 mg. Delta M is equal to mass. How to calculate mass? Third, delta M is equal to. The process is exoergic process because of reactants are that is participate in the nuclear reaction. We getting products and energy release. The process in which energy release is called exoergic reaction. Already I told you. Already we discussed in previous class. Exoergic. In exoergic, mass of reactants greater than mass of product. Right. So, masses of reactants minus masses of products. Delta M is equal to masses of reactants. Mass of uranium 235 plus mass of neutron minus mass of barium 141 plus mass of krypton 92 plus 3 masses of neutron. Those are calculated in terms of AMU, atomic mass. Finally, we are getting delta M is equal to 0.2235 AMU. Then we know that Q is equal to delta M into 931.5 MeV. Q is equal to 0.2235 into 931.5 MeV. That is Q is equal to nearly 200 megaelectron volt energy release. 200 megaelectron. Near this energy release, one neutron participate, one nucleus of uranium atom. One nucleus of uranium atom participate in the reaction. We getting to, so that is 200 megaelectron volt energy. Fifth one. One uranium nucleus is participate in nuclear reaction with one neutron energy release is 200 megaelectron. That is nearly one nucleus of uranium atom. Here, the total, not total, one nucleus of uranium atom bombarded, collide with one neutron. So these are stable nucleus. These are stable. Here, unstable nucleus only unstable nucleus is spreading. Only unstable nucleus. These are stable nucleus. These are not again participate in the reaction. These are unstable nucleus. Those are separated from the reaction. Finally, what we want? So we want the nuclear energy in the process of nuclear fission. So the nuclear energy is calculated by using mass defect. That is mass. Finally, we are getting the 200 megaelectron. So that is one uranium atom, uranium nucleus is participate. Then we are getting 200. Next, sixth one. What we getting? 92 uranium 235 plus 0n1 gives rise to 92 uranium 236 gives rise to, see carefully, this is unstable. Unstable nucleus is always splitting, not stable. Now 56 barium 141 plus 36 krypton 92 plus 3 more neutrons, again 200 megaelectron volt energy. Finally, what we want? The reaction, the nuclear reaction. So participate, then we get the enormous energy. For one nucleus of uranium, we get 200. So the number of nucleus participate in the reaction, we get into huge amount of energy, which is used for another purpose. Yes, right. Next one, nuclear chain reaction. Nuclear chain reaction. So here, the nuclear reactor, nuclear fission reaction, one neutron is participate in the reaction with one nucleus of uranium, we get into 200. Here, the quantity of, that is amount of mass of that is uranium atom is participate, that is number of atoms, number of nuclear atoms of uranium atom participate in the nuclear reaction, nuclear fission. Then what we get? That is called chain reaction. How chain reaction is produced? Nuclear chain reaction. See, 92 uranium 235 plus 0n1 gives rise to 56 barium 141 plus 36 krypton 92. Again 3 more neutrons plus 200 megaelectron volt energy. Okay. Done. 200 megaelectron. Okay. Here, second, one neutron participate. This is diagram. See there. 92 uranium 235. One neutron. This again participate. We getting 3 more neutrons. These are barium krypton unstable nucleus. So barium krypton unstable nucleus. Those are not participating in the reaction. Then this again produced remain, that is again 3 more neutrons again participate. So the nuclear reaction. So one neutron, one nucleus of uranium atom participate in the reaction. We get 3 more neutrons. These 3 more neutrons again participate in the reaction. It is 0n1, 0n1, 0n1. Participate reaction. We get 3 more neutrons. Okay, 3 more neutrons. 3 more neutrons. So 0n1, 0n1, 0n1. Again 0n1, 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 0n1. Again. That means the number of neutrons in the reaction, the number of neutrons are increases. These number of reactions releases in the reaction or again participate in the reaction, those are produced again and again and again number of neutrons. One neutron produces 3 more neutrons. These 3 again participate in the reaction, getting 9 more neutrons. 9 into 3, 27. 27 into 3, 81. So the process will continue. The process will continue from initial state to up to final state. That process is called chain reaction. See here. So, one neutron participate in the reaction, produce 3 more neutrons. And again, these 3 more neutrons are participate in the reaction, participate in the reaction, produce 3 into 3, 9, and so on is called nuclear chain reaction. Yes. Next one. One neutron produces 3 more neutrons. Again, these 3 more neutrons participate, 3 into 3, 9 more neutrons. Again, these 9 more neutrons participate in the reaction. 9 into 3, 27. Again, these 27 are participate in the reaction. 81. So 1 participate 3 participate 9, 9 participate 27, 81. Here, fifth one. K is equal to neutron multiplication factor. What is neutron multiplication? Number of neutrons present in present generation, neutron number in present generation, by neutron number in previous generation. This is present, previous, present, previous, present, previous. That means in every generation, 3 more neutrons. Each neutron produces 3 more neutrons. 3 more neutrons. That is K is equal to 3 by 1, 9 by 3, 27 by 9, 81 by 27. So this is present previous. So 1 more neutron produces 3, 3 more neutron produce 9, 9 produces 27, 27 produces 81, 81 produces again 234, 243 like also. This K value, from this K value, so we decide, the K value decides the chain reaction is controlled or uncontrolled or critical stage. Chain reaction control lo undala unda uncontrolled lo unda ela undi, in which state the nuclear reactor is sustained, in which state the nuclear reactor, so the chain reaction is going on, process will be going on. So that is decided by the factor of Newton multiplication. That is Newton, that is decided. So Newton multiplication factor decides the chain reaction of, so that may be in which state, right? Now we go for what is K? The K value decides the chain reaction in which state. Now let us see applications. First one, if K less than 1, K less than 1 means the number of neutrons initially, the number of neutrons or participate less than 1, the chain reaction cannot continue, because of to continue the so process will go on, minimum 1 neutron is available, is need for the process will continue. Here the neutron multiplication factor K is less than 1, the chain reaction will not continue. That is called critical state. The chain reaction will not continue. Critical state. Next, for if K is equal to 1, the chain reaction will be controlled. So this is subcritical state, This is subcritical state. That is steady state. Critical state. See carefully. If the K multiplication factor K less than 1, we get into subcritical state. That means the process will not continue. The process will be stopped. After 2 or 3 process will go on. So if K is equal to 1, minimum 1 neutron is participate in the reaction, the chain reaction will continue. 1 is participate reaction, getting 3 more. These 3 again participate, 9 more. These 9 more again participate, 8 1. So the 27 again comes 1. That is the steady state. Steady state means so controlled. So the chain reaction will continue. So in control state will be controlled state. So that is called critical state. Next one. If K greater than 1, the chain reaction will be So that is supercritical state. Supercritical state. So this is example for this one, nuclear reactor. The example for this one, atom bomb. That means the nuclear reactor is always sustained of nuclear fission with control. So in atom bomb, the principle of atom bomb is uncontrolled chain reaction. The principle of nuclear reactor is controlled chain reaction. Next, this is about K, multiplication factor of neutron multiplication factor K, about what are the values. So due to these values, the chain reaction in which state we have to find out. So that is subcritical state less than 1, critical state is equal to 1. So that is greater than 1, uncontrolled, that is supercritical state. Now we go for nuclear reactor. Nuclear reactor is a device in which nuclear fission carried out through sustained controlled chain reaction. Nuclear fission carried out through sustained controlled chain reaction. So, nuclear principle. Nuclear fission carried out through sustained controlled chain reaction. Next, working. The nuclear reactor mainly consists of 5 parts. First one is nuclear fuel. To run the system, to run the any system, mechanical system. So fuel is must. That is nuclear fuel. To run the nuclear reactor, the system of nuclear reactor to run, so nuclear fuel is must need. Second one, moderators. Third one, control rods. Fourth one, coolants. Fifth one, protective shielding. The main features of nuclear reactor, 5 mainly. Nuclear fuel, moderators, so that is control rods, coolants. So there are 5 parts, 5 features. Each feature is so different properties. First one, nuclear fuel. So to run the system, nuclear fuel is the fuel to continue the chain reaction. The nuclear fuel is fabricated in the form of uranium rods, aluminum rods, cylindrical rods. So that is natural uranium, enriched uranium, uranium, Like that. Next, moderators. To slowing down the fast moving neutrons. Carefully. The main property of moderators to slowing down. So the fast moving neutrons after releases of the that is in the production in the nuclear chain reaction. So one participant getting production 3 more neutrons. These releasing 3 more neutrons are having more kinetic energy. More kinetic energy. Those are kinetic energy is more. This more kinetic energy is reduces by using moderators. Next, control rods. To absorbing the neutrons by boron and cadmium rods. So the chain reaction will be controlled by control rods. That means the number of neutrons releases, huge number of neutrons are releases in short interval of time. We are getting large number of neutrons. These number of neutrons are producing large amount of energy. That is, at that state the chain reaction will be uncontrolled. So to be controlled the chain reaction, so the number of neutrons are killed by using boron and cadmium rods. Kill means the number of neutrons, absorbing the number of neutrons. To absorbing the number of neutrons by cadmium and boron rods. Next, coulomb. So in the core of nuclear reactor, the fuel elements in the core of during the process of nuclear chain reaction, in the core means center of the nuclear reactor. In the fuel elements, large amount of energy, heat energy releases. This amount of heat energy is removed by suitable coolants flow around the reactor. So fuel elements to release a huge amount of heat energy ni manamu steam ga bayatiki convert chestuntam. That is used for another process. So to producing electrical energy, to producing radioisotopes like that. So to remove heat energy from reactor. Next, what is protective shielding? So nuclear reactor produces during nuclear reaction. So we getting 3 more neutrons, again some amount of energy. So parallel to some amount of energy, alpha, beta, gamma rays are releases. These alpha, beta, gamma rays are very harmful to human beings, which are near the reactor. So some human beings are working near the reactors. These reactor produces emitted alpha, beta, gamma rays. These rays are that is moving in the air. So these rays are very harmful to human beings. That's why around the reactor a protective shielding, nothing but a concrete wall, steel wall are constructed. These concrete and steel wall absorb the releases of alpha, beta, gamma rays and destroy them. So to protect the atmosphere, to protect from alpha, beta, gamma rays. Concrete wall and lead wall are constructed around the reactor. So this is the theoretical. So I think this is theoretical, but so we observe some points in the reactor. Nuclear fuel is to run the system. Naturally enriched plutonium like. Moderators or main function is slow down the fast movement. Controllers is the main function observing the number of neutrons by boron and cadmium. Coolants to remove heat energy from the reactor, which are releases in the fuel elements. Protective shielding to protect alpha, beta, gamma rays from alpha, beta, gamma rays. So we constructed there is concrete wall and lead wall around the reactor. So this is about theoretical concept of nuclear reactor. After that, from reactor, what is the power generated? What amount of energy released in the reactor? How to calculate it? So in problems. Right. Next, power of reactor. How to calculate the power? How to calculate the energy? See. We know that power is equal to energy by time. Power is equal to energy by time. So here N into E by T. What is N? Number of fissions. Number of fissions. The energy released from number of fissions. Here the nuclear reactor, the energy, huge amount of energy, which is in the form of electrical energy or heat energy or other energy. So from coolants we remove the heat energy which are produced in the fuel elements. Those are converted into steam. That is, steam is used to rotating the turbines. The rotating turbines produces the electrical energy, electricity, electric current. So in the reactor, the energy releases due to number of fissions. So that is N is number of fissions. See, this is written as P is equal to N by T into U. N by T, number of fissions per second. Next, E, energy released in each fission. So second one, E is equal to 200 mega electron. E is equal to 200 into mega 10 power 6 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. So that is E is equal to 3.2 into, so 1.6 into 2, 3.2, that is 8. 8 that is 90, 10 power minus 11 joule. For one fission, energy release. So for each fission, energy release E is equal to 3.2 into 10 power minus 11 joule for each fission. If power of reactor is equal to 1 watt, N by T is equal to question mark. We know that P is equal to N by T into E. N by T is equal to P by E. 1 by 3.2 into 10 power minus 11. 3.125 into 10 power 10 fissions per second. If the power of the reactor is 1 watt, the number of fissions occur for 1 second is 3.125. Next, fifth one. If x% of, so that is energy is converted into which energy? X% of heat energy. The heat energy. So from the reactor we store heat energy. That heat energy is converted to different form of energy. If x gram of heat energy is converted into electrical energy, then P is equal to x% of Ne by T. That means x by 100 of Ne by T. If x gram of fuel is completely converted into energy, x gram of fuel is completely converted into energy. Then P is equal to Ne by T in the number of atoms in x gram is N is equal to x into Avogadro's number. First we have to calculate in x gram fuel how many number of atoms are there. For each atom produces that is energy. For each atom participating in a reaction producing energy. X gram fuel that may be any fuel. In x gram fuel, how many number of atoms? Here, number of atoms are participating. Fuel is not participating. So, the fuel consists of number of atoms. How many number? The number of atoms in x gram is n into x. Avogadro's number by molecule. Avogadro's number. Then P is equal to x into Na by molecular weight into energy by time. This is very important. So to calculate the power problems in nuclear reactor, these are formulas. Remember. So what is the power? Power is equal to E by T for n fissions. Here the energy released for n fissions. Yeah, we have to substitute it. Then what we getting? So finally these are the power problems. Power related formulas. Okay. Now, in nuclear energy, one part is completed. Nuclear fission. Due to nuclear fission, so we getting some applications. So we discuss some applications. Those applications in those applications. So we have nuclear energy due to fission. Now we go for fusion. Two or more lighter nuclei to combine producing getting heavy nuclei is called the process of nuclear fusion. Fusion. The process of two or more lighter nuclei or fuse, combine, together producing heavy nucleus, heavy stable nucleus. Is called so first one 1H2 plus 1H2 gives rise to 2 helium-4 plus 26.7 mega electron volt. The nuclear fission is going on, is carried out at extremely high pressure and high temperature. Yes. Nuclear fission occur at high temperature and high pressure. So, in this one, two or more lighter nuclei are combined, fuse to producing heavy stable nucleus and some amount of engines. Okay. Again, see carefully. Solar energy, stellar energy, what is the solar energy and stellar energy? What is solar energy? The energy released by sun and stars. That means due to nuclear fusion inside the core of the sun and stars, a large amount of heat, so that is a huge amount of energy which is released. That energy is called solar or stellar energy. So the energy released by the solar system, nothing but sun and stars, due to nuclear fusion, is called solar energy. The energy released by the sun and stars due to nuclear fusion is called, so that is solar energy. So the solar energy produced by so that is due to nuclear fission produced by two processes: proton cycle, carbon nitrogen cycle. First one, proton cycle is the first one. Proton cycle. Second one, carbon nitrogen cycle. Process producing solar energy. In sun, the core of sun, both proton hydrogen cycle are occur. Both proton cycle and carbon nitrogen cycle are. Next, in stars only carbon nitrogen cycle will be occur. So that is proton cycle. Proton one H1 plus one H1 gives rise to like that. Again that participate in one H1. Again that participate. Finally we are getting stable nucleus. One stable nucleus with huge amount of energy. That stable nucleus is stable, always stable. It is not participate in any reaction. The amount of energy which is released in the fusion reaction is called solar stellar energy. The energy released by the sun and stars is called solar system. This is about nuclear fusion energy. Energy due to nuclear fusion. Nuclear energy due to nuclear fusion. Nuclear fission completed, fusion. Now we go for last concept. Particle antiparticle. Let it. Next, what is particle and antiparticle? Particle, antiparticle. Antiparticle means same mass as that of particle, but opposite charge, opposite spin orientation, opposite magnetic moment. Antiparticle. Antiparticle is in the form of matter and same mass as that of particle, but opposite in charge and opposite in spin orientation. Opposite charge, opposite spin orientation. Antiparticle is nothing but so particle, but some properties are different. Mass is same. See carefully, particle and first one, electron, positron, particle and antiparticle, sign opposite. Next, proton, antiproton. neutron, antineutron. Next, neutrino, nothing but energy. Neutrino, write it. Neutrino, energy. Antineutrino, positive 5 meson. Positive 5 meson. Negative 5 meson. Positive mu meson. Negative mu meson. These are called particle antiparticle. Particle antiparticle are, so that is collide. We are getting one process. Particle and antiparticle are releases, producing. We are getting another process. What is that? Pair of production, pair of annihilation. Both are inverse process. Pair of production, pair of production. We getting, so in some process we getting, so that is pair of production means so particle antiparticle, electron positron, proton antiproton, neutron antineutron. So like that. In some process, so when the photon, we know the photon energy packet is incident on any target nucleus, that is releases. So pair of production with pair, according to law of conservation of mass. Here we have to use here according to law of conservation of mass, according to law of conservation of energy also is. So that is called pair of production. Pair of production. What is the pair of production? When a gamma photon is incident on target nucleus, is producing electron and positron. Electron and positron, and with amount of energy. The amount of energy in the form of rest mass energy. This process is called pair of production. See, this is the target nucleus. Gamma photon. Why do we use gamma photon? That is energetic, more energetic compared to remaining. is penetrating to, so that is nucleus of innermost orbit of Mars. After that, it producing electron, positive one. Electron of rest mass m0, here of rest mass m0, of kinetic energy K minus, of kinetic energy K plus. See carefully. This energy, according to law of conservation of energy and according to law of conservation of mass, the mass of photon is splitting to pair production. Same like that, energy of photon all that is also splitting to pair production. Here, this is the rest mass of electron, rest mass of positron. So kinetic energy of electron, kinetic energy of positron. So that is what we getting. The energy of gamma photon is E. We know that energy of gamma photon E is equal to, what is that? So that is this is m0. See carefully. This is E0. What did you say this? E0. Rest mass of here E0 is equal to m0 c square. Rest mass of energy. See, rest mass of energy. Not m0, sorry. Rest E0 plus K minus E0 plus K. E0. So what we get? E is equal to E0 plus E0, 2E0 plus K plus K, 2K. Kinetic energy is same. Energy is same. There is no signs for kinetic energy like of positron and electron. Here, both energies are same. Both are moving same. Already I told you. Antiparticle. Antiparticle is a matter of same mass. Charge and orientation of spin and angular momentum only is opposite. Remaining all same. Energy same. Mass same. So kinetic energy same. The remaining all are same. Only charge is different. So here kinetic energy. But orientation is, so that is a spin, that is the charge is opposite. So for electron I put in minus, for positron I put in negative. For understanding of your shape. So I put in minus and plus. Both are kinetic energy. 2K. We want kinetic energy of anyone. 2Ke is equal to E minus 2E0. Kinetic energy of positron or kinetic energy of electron. So this is transposed here. Finally we are getting that. Right now, first line out. So we are getting this equation. 2K is equal to E minus 2E. What is the energy of gamma photon? Which is instant, which is collide, so which is bombarded with the nucleus of orbital. Guys, now from the equation 2K E minus 2E. Okay, done. K is equal to E minus 2E0 by 2. Kinetic energy of electron or kinetic energy of positron or kinetic energy is equal to E minus 2E0 by E. Finally, what we want to get? Here, what is E0? Rest mass. What is E0? Rest mass of energy of either particle or antiparticle. E0. E0 is equal to m0 c square. We know that. E0 is equal to m0, mass of electron. 9 10 power minus 31. 9 10 power 16 joule. That E naught is equal to 0.51 mega electron. For one particle, for either one, the rest mass of energy 0.51. The total energy released in the pair of production. Total rest mass of energy. Released in the total rest mass of energy released in the pair production. What is that? What are we getting? 2 E naught. See carefully. See the diagram. Total energy 2 E naught. 2 into 0.51. 1.02 mega electron. Remember this value. This value is repeated number of problems which are solved in. So that is the binding energy and also nuclear energy problems. In nuclear energy problems we have we want the value of rest mass of energy of the total energy in the pair of production. We need 1.02. This is very important value. So what is the total energy which is released in the pair production? He is asking inside the level 1.02, not 0.1, not 0.51. Total energy 0. That is 1.02. This is about pair production. Pair annihilation, pair production. So when gamma photon is bombarded or collided with the nucleus, it is released as particle and antiparticle according to law of conservation of energy, according to law of conservation of charge. See carefully. Initially gamma photon has 0 charge. After these two have 0 charge. According to law of conservation of charge. Law of conservation. Initially the gamma photon has mass. This mass is split into, that is 2 rest mass. So according to here, we use according to law of conservation of charge, according to law of conservation of mass, according to law of conservation of energy also. So by using this one, we get the total rest mass of energy. Okay, done. Pair of annihilation, inverse process of pair production. Pair of annihilation. Last concept. Pair of annihilation. Annihilation. The inverse process of pair production. Is called pair annihilation. Okay, what is pair annihilation? So the imagine what I am draw the diagram in pair production. When gamma photon is split into pair of, that is electron and proton. The inverse process, so the collision, those are fusing of particle and antiparticle, we getting gamma photon. Yes. Again, the collision between particle and antiparticle. Is called This releases, so that is one photon of energy H2. This is also H2. Finally, we are getting this is H2. This is H2. That means this is particle. This is antiparticle. Those are moving with energy, nothing but photon. Those are moving with the energy of photon. After colliding, getting the process of annihilation, we getting some more energy. That energy is called 2h nu. That's 4. This is the pair of production. So remember what I am saying. Pair of production is very important in NEET level of competitive. Pair of annihilation is just one definition to remember. Pair of production is very important. That means, so in always in pair of production we have to calculate the energy values always in mega electron volt. Mega. Just a moment. Over.